Hi, it's Cara, and today we're doing my July wrap-up. So overall this month I read 12 things. I read 2 anthologies, 5 physical books, no, 5 books that were physically on my TBR, on my physical shelf TBR, and I read 3 audiobooks. So let's get started. First off this month I finished The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I have a full spoiler-free, I'm pretty sure, review up on my channel. I'll try to remember to link it down below. This is an adult fantasy based around the Sino-Japanese War, and it's so good. I did have a few little niggles, which I think were more because of my reading experience than the book itself. There were just a few times where I thought, like, it wasn't pulling me along for the ride so well, but I was very busy all this month, so I have a feeling it might have been more to do with that than to do with the book itself. I'm desperately keen to listen to the audiobook of this, hopefully early next year, and get like a refresh into it before reading book 2 whenever that eventually comes out. But oh my god, this is such a good book. It's dark, really dark. If you have any concerns with any kind of trigger warnings, especially for violence, substance abuse, that kind of stuff, definitely go check out. There's a lot of lists of complete trigger warnings for these books, for this book, so definitely go check those out if you have any concerns. But it is amazing. I totally recommend it. It's amazing. Then I read The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. This is a short graphic novel following this girl who gets in with this society that raise tea dragons, and it's really just this little exploration of these tea dragons. They're the cutest little things. So you have like a ginseng dragon and a jasmine dragon. Oh, they're adorable. Like, there's not really that much plot or substance to this, but they're the most cutest little things you've ever seen. I totally recommend this just for the artwork and its adorableness. It's really short. You can fly through it super fast. It's adorable. Then I listened to Only Human by Sylvain Novelle. This is the third and final book in the Themis files. I listened to this on audiobook. I totally recommend the audiobook for this series. It's a sci-fi, speculative space fiction thing, following this woman who, when she was like a young child, fell into this hole and landed onto a giant metal hand, and then her life has kind of led to her trying to figure out where this hand came from and if there's more pieces to the body, and it kind of explodes out from there. It's a great series. I think the conclusion was potentially a little weak, which I heard is the like all-round comment. The ending was just a little bit weak, but it kind of moves from all this action adventure. The second one especially is very like almost apocalyptic action adventure. So the third one turns into more like a commentary on race and government, and I think it's that transition that maybe would let people down. I could understand why people were finding the ending a little weak, the third book a little weak, but I still really enjoyed it overall. I liked the way they did language in this, which would make sense if you listen to it. In the audiobook was well done. I own the first book in hard copy. Definitely going to pick up books 2 and 3 so that in the future I could reread this in the physical copy. But I definitely recommend the audiobooks for this series. They're amazing. I think I gave this book like a 4.5 stars overall. Then I read The Obelisk Date by N.K. Jemisin. This is book 2 in the Broken Earth trilogy, sorry. This series is a speculative fiction fantasy apocalyptic novel following this world that has these seasons, which are like major apocalyptic events, and they kind of happen on a semi-regular basis, and the whole structure of their society is built around that. And then we also have these magic users called, what are they called? Orogenies, that can interact with metals and the earth, I guess, and manipulate it, and they're the downtrodden like minority caste in this society because they're so dangerous. They're really like scared of, everyone is scared of them, and they're really downtrodden and not allowed to hold power. And it's just a really complex series. It definitely chucks you in the deep end. But by the time, at least reading this book, I felt a lot more comfortable in the world. I knew what was going on. It was amazing. Our characters are really complex. They're very grey and morally confusing. And the stakes seem really high, and I love this series so much. I can't wait to read book 3. This was a 5-star read. Then I read The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. This is a graphic novel following a prince who is also, I guess, I guess he's a drag queen or maybe genderqueer. It's not really explained well. He's just he doesn't identify as a woman per se, but enjoys dressing as a woman. So the rep is a bit confusing, but it's very sweet and empowering and beautiful. So we essentially follow the prince who hires this girl, the dressmaker, to make dresses for him to go out on the town as a woman. And it's beautiful and adorable, and I think it's kind of set in the early 1900s as we're transitioning from like a aristocratic kind of thing into more of a modern day environment, and it was gorgeous. I loved it so much. Then I read Learn About Loss by Cassandra Clare, and was it Sarah Reese Brennan that helped with this one, or was it Robin Wassman? I can't remember. I'm blanking. There's also Kelly Link also works on it, Maureen Johnson, Robin Wassman, Sarah Reese Brennan. I'll just say all of them because they were all involved in the project. It's amazing. This was the July release in the Ghosts of the Shadow Market series. In the Ghosts of the Shadow Market series, this is a collection of novellas following our main character is Gem. So we've seen other stories like this from Cassandra Clare before in the Shadowhunter world. We've had one from Magnus and one from Simon, and this one's now from Gem, leading up to the release of Queen of Air and Darkness. And it's really... What happened in this one? I'm blanking. Let me try and remember. I'm pretty sure this one followed Gem going into this new shadow market, which was being run by a demon, and it was just sweet. It involved an Iron Sister, and it was... I love these stories just because they're so simple but engrossing, and we're jumping back into our favourite characters. I never rate them particularly high because I don't think they deliver on a wider grand scale when they're individual novellas, but I gave this, I believe, a 3.54 stars. It was good. I also read Clockwork Prince this month. I thought this was a reread, and I listened to it on audiobook. I think the narration was way better than the first book in the Infernal Devices series, though still the female narrator was a little bit grating, but Ed Westwick, who does the male narration, did a great job. This was really good. I did really enjoy it. I love this book. The narration was a lot better than the Clockwork Angel, which meant I didn't lose any value by reading the audiobook. And so this added to my Cassandra Clare reread in the lead up to Queen of Air and Darkness. Then I read Soulless by Gail Carriger. This is book 1 in the Parasol Protectorate, the Alexia Tarabotti novels. This is a steampunk urban fantasy, and it's a little bit cheesy and romancy, and overall I loved it for what it was. It's kind of quick. I think I gave it overall 4 stars, but it totally is what it needs to be. It's cheesy, corny, romance, a little bit sexy, but the way that urban fantasy blends in this world is really good. The steampunk elements, really enjoyed it. It was great fun. Then I read The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. Yes, this is an art copy I've literally had since 2012, and 2011, oh my god. And I just never got around to reading this. I got this when I was working at a bookstore, and I got to take this home, and I was so excited about it at the time, but I was actively in school and it just didn't get read, and I finally decided to pick it up. I ended up listening to it on audiobook, and I really, really enjoyed it. I love Maggie Stiefvater. I love everything I've read from her so far, so I'm not surprised I didn't like that I liked this. This follows this island that races these Kapellishka or water horses, and they're vicious and bloodthirsty, but they're the fastest mounts, so they have this race. We follow our main characters Sean and Puck, and Sean is the previous winner from like the last 4 years, but he doesn't, and he's in love with the horses, but he doesn't own his horse. He's working for a stable, and he's got a lot of power struggles. He's probably the most needed person there, but he doesn't get paid as much as he should, and he doesn't own his horse that he's like, it's his best friend and his true love, this horse. And then we follow Puck, whose parents died by the Kapellishka, and her older brother is leaving for the mainland because he can't cope anymore, and she enlists and signs up to race, but she's racing her own pony. It's not a water horse, and she is the underdog, but she needs to win because their house is going to be taken away from them if they don't win. And it's the best story. Like, I loved it. The audiobook narration was really, really good as well. I'm really enjoying Steve West as a narrator, so like, send his audiobooks my way because I am loving him. He does such good voices. He's really good at it. And this was amazing. 5 stars. Loved it. Then, as I said, I read a couple of anthologies across the month. The first one was Meet Cute. And this is a YA anthology of short Meet Cute stories. I've heard some people say that they found the abrupt endings to these a little bit jarring. I didn't mind that, but I guess that's because I've read a lot of Meet Cute fanfiction. Like, I met one of my good friends because she was writing Meet Cute fanfiction that, like, was just one long, every chapter was a new Meet Cute of the characters, but in a different setting. And I loved that. That was amazing. So the idea of these short Meet Cute stories that don't have that much follow through never really bothered me. Some of these I would have loved to explore further, but like, I didn't need it. And overall, I thought this was a great range of diverse characters, diverse stories, and it did a really good job. I gave it 4 stars. And then I read The Radical Element, which is edited by Jessica Spotswood. This is the sequel to, what's it called? This is the kind of sequel to A Tyranny of Petticoats. I thought A Tyranny of Petticoats was a little stronger. The stories in this weren't as impactful, but I really enjoyed them overall. They were good. And I gave it a 3.5 stars. It just could have done a little more, in my opinion. And finally, this month, I read Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This, if you haven't heard of it, is the first in a heist duology by Leigh Bardugo set in the Grisha world. I'm so mad. This is like the least floppiest book, hence why I have the like bentest spine in existence. I just can't not crack spines if my book isn't floppy, and this is like got no flop to it. I was so mad. Hopefully I can find a copy of Crooked Kingdom that's much floppier. That's the sequel. So this is a YA heist novel. I really enjoyed the characters and the plot development and the like character relationships and things in this. I love the cast of characters. They're amazing. I think my biggest disappointment in this, which was why I couldn't rate it a full 5 stars, I think I ended up giving it a 4.5, is that when I read heist novels, what I really enjoy in a heist novel is the way you can see threads and then everything kind of comes together and you see the things that were happening that you missed or were kept from you to make it all work together and build the tension. This didn't really have that except for maybe the last 50 pages. And I kind of wish we'd had that more of the way through, like a more complex heist that required more threads to pull it off. Like the Ocean's 8 movie did a much better job of giving you threads, but you still didn't know what exactly was happening for them to pull it off. This was just lacking some of that tension, I think. But I guess it is YA, but I just feel like it could have been a slightly better heist novel. But then again, Lee Bardugo doesn't traditionally write heist novels. So it was a decent heist novel, I guess. And I loved that we had a lot of different race representation, disability representation. The main character, Kaz, uses a cane. And it's dark and gritty, a lot of great characters, all of that stuff I loved. I'm definitely keen to read Crooked Kingdom and see how this wraps up, and I'm very excited for more books in the Grisha world. It's just, whew. So those are the books I read in the month of July. I can't believe it's already the end of July, like I'm not coping. Anyway, comment down below if you've read any of these and would like to chat with me about them. Otherwise, I will see you soon with another video. I'm going to be vlogging in the month of August all month long, every single day, not uploading a video every single day, I'm not that skilled, but I'll be vlogging daily as I complete the Newts 2018 readathon, and hopefully I'll be tweeting a bit too, but I'll be vlogging mainly, and I'll be uploading those on every single Friday for the next, till we're at the end of the month. I don't know if that's 4 or 5 weeks, I mean, it might be 5 weeks. I won't be, maybe only 4. I won't be obviously this went up today, we're now the, 3rd of August. These first few days of August, which obviously are in the future for me because I'm pre-filming, but at the time, the last 3 days when you see this, are going to be tacked on to the first week, so it'll be the week and 3 days reading vlog, and the final week will be minus a few days, I guess. Like a few days, might be a few days shorter or longer, I don't know. Just going to fit it in as best as works, but I'm not going to do a vlog for 3 days worth of vlogging, so that's going to be tacked on to next Friday. So keep an eye out for those. They're going to be my Friday videos for the month of August, but you'll be seeing normal videos, hopefully some reviews from me on the Mondays, and hopefully some chill, relaxed style top 5 Wednesdays on the Wednesdays. I'm going to be chill with those because I just can't be bothered doing fancy setup like this. We're just going to be like chill vlog style, casual top 5 Wednesdays. So look out for those as well, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!